share his insights and his perspective on what took place with the stimulus bill, which was 14 months ago. Dr. Kagen.
Well, thank you very much for yielding, and thank you for bringing up this subject about tax cuts. But really, the American people have to pay attention because they have to ask the question, whose side are you on? Whose side are we on? And how did we get into this mess? We fell into an economic ditch. We were driven into it by a number of different factors. But first and foremost, it was a failed economic policy. It was a policy wherein we've had two wars at the same time and haven't paid a single dime for them. We've had two tax cuts to the very rich, haven't paid a penny for those either. We also had in the last administration a $400 billion handout to big drug companies, not paying for a penny of that either.
All deficit.
All deficit spending, not paying our way. And then we fell into this terrible situation of a mortgage fiasco where people were buying things that really didn't exist, fell into another $10 trillion hole. And at the tail end of the last administration, their friends asked them in the administration to open up the door to the Treasury. And the Wall Street banks looted our Treasury for nearly $1 trillion. Again, we haven't paid a dime for that. And then came a Great Recession, not just here in the United States, but this Great Recession took us all the way around the globe. It wasn't just the United States that began to see the tremendous loss of jobs. Last year, January, over 700,000 people lost their job. This year, much less. So we're beginning to move up, but we are moving up first and foremost by living within our means. We didn't have, during the Bush administration, the laws we did have on the books during President Clinton. We handed over to the Republican Party a surplus, a budget surplus that would amount to over $5 trillion. And what did they do? They spent us into the ditch. We have reinstituted pay-as-you-go rules, so we can't bring a bill to the House floor and consider it for anything unless we show how we're going to pay for it by either raising revenue or reducing other programs. So along came the Recovery Act, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, and in February we passed it through the House, the Senate, and the President signed it. And this $787 billion investment in America was aimed at providing middle-class families, the hardworking people who have really created prosperity in the past, the biggest tax cut in American history. And I thought tonight we should have a conversation about 8 of these tax cuts that are available right here and right now, giving American people an opportunity to see that we are on their side.
Well, let's do that.